Yes, indeed. Welcome back to HipPodHedz, a podcast where we discuss our favorite hip hop moments. And we got a special guest today. I am Know Sage. With me always is Novek. And my man, my fam, bro, Rocco Crisis, aka John Doe, aka Sherrod Harris, owner of Clean Supreme Invasion. My man showing us his what your own podcast swag hoodie. Y'all can't see it on the pod right now, but you know.
You will.
that fire hoodie, man. So, bro, welcome to the show, man.
Man, appreciate you, say. Appreciate
Welcome.
you, cousin. Appreciate
Yes.
you. We talked about this a few. Hey, what thing I say about you, cuz, boy? You don't be jiving. When you say it, you stand on it, my dude. Hey, man, I want you to get on the song with me. Next thing I know, you called me like, how's this beat? Like, what? Okay. You don't be playing. You be real with it, boy. That's what I like.
Yo, I really appreciate that, Rocco. Like, honestly, like I was talking about a guest we had last episode about like he's the guy that kind of introduced me to hip hop in high school. And I felt like when I was trying to finally come out of my shell and finally trying to freestyle a rap, I felt like I was almost trying to be like you, man. Like you were always.
I was finna say, bro, he introduced you already. Whoa. You know Big Cuz been doing that since way back.
Yeah,
he
man.
introduced you. I feel some type of way. I remember you and Joseph freestyling over there right off of the porch over there. Y'all getting it in. Listening to your boy. See, I feel some type of way. But that's cool.
Yeah, but I'm just glad that we finally got to collaborate on some songs. You know, on my last album, you know, you had a track on there, Fortune, under the John Doe, you know, nickname, and we got some other stuff that we're cooking up together as well that should be dropping later on this year. So I can't wait.
And I'm always available because when you hit me, I gotta come through, man. I can't leave you hanging, man. I find time to get it cracking with you, man. I love you.
Yeah, man, I love you too, bro. And like honestly, like when I was spitting, I was like always hoping that I'd be able to like be, you know, able to like live in your space. And then, you know, finally it's been a blessing to kind of collaborate, you know, these last years with you. Because like, truth be told, man, back in the day, you were like king of the basketball courts, you know, king of the rhymes, king of the swag, man. I mean, you always had it like that. And I was like, man, how can I be like Sherrod?
I never knew that. You know, it's crazy. You know, all these many years later, and you throwing them flowers at me. I love you for it, boy. I didn't know. I always wanted to be a good example for y'all, but at the same time, I was doing me, baby. So it's crazy. I mean, for real, like just doing me, man, and all that stuff just came within me doing me. And you don't really be paying attention to who be watching or who be rocking. But I did try to spend as much time with y'all as possible. I did not, you know, play that Big Cuz and I'm too big or too old or too cool to hang with y'all. Nah, I fuck with y'all. Like we kicked it. And
yes, sir.
You know, I speak, and as I look at all y'all, though, I can see a lot of me y'all picked up in all types of different fashions. I fuck with that. That's cool.
100%. So like, yeah, man, you were doing you as well as you doing you. I'm glad you were telling me and Novak earlier that you're gonna bring back the What You On podcast, because man, that just brought me so much life when you had that show going on. I think y'all went up to like 30 episodes and 34, man. And you know, it's just, man, like you had 3 other co-hosts with you, right? It was it K Kareen, Zay Major,
yeah.
G Chef,
yeah.
But then she had another name, She Chef, Not Your Mama Punch. I'm like, wait, is this the same person?
No, the Not Your Mama Punch was the drink she used to sell in the pack.
Oh.
She used to get her fucked up, bro. We used to be in that party. Joe, I had to scale back like, yo, I can't do it. Can't, because she used to have us in the smack. If you look at the first couple of episodes, we were smacked. We had to back up off of it, bro.
But y'all had a good time though. So yeah, make sure you spell it right. Look it up on the YouTubes or any of the podcast platforms. WATCH WHATCHAON. What you own?
Oh, and it was all family. But you know, Jay, you know how we get out in this family. We like the Rainbow Coalition. It's everybody with everybody, and we all kicks it hard. But the cool thing about me is I'm in a space where I literally kick it with everybody individually. So I give, you know, it's crazy. Like it's real cool. We jam like that. We all enjoy each other's time. It's real cool.
I totally agree. And you know what? Before we step into the topic, one of my favorite segments on your podcast was like, man, because y'all were talking about a lot of stuff. Like y'all were talking about what was going on the streets. Y'all were talking about like relationship advice. But the segment y'all always came back to was shit you can't make up or something like that.
Oh, that was fun.
Yo,
Yeah. Can't make this shit up. Yeah,
can't make this shit up. So like, do you remember like some of your favorite like can't make this shit up stuff? Because every time that segment came up, I was like, damn, you really can't make this shit up.
Nah, man, I you know what? No, I can't really think of which one really stood out because they all was outlandish as shit.
Yeah.
And they was real news topics that we
Yep.
look into. That shit really be happening. You be like, what the freak? Some of them made me mad because it be involving kids and some of the people.
Yeah.
But some of them just be outlandish in the thoughts and the way that they thought they was gonna get away with certain shit. It was weird. But yeah, it was a lot. I ain't had no one specific one, bro. I can't think of one specific one, but that was my episode though. That was me. Hey, bro, it was wild.
I loved it. And y'all definitely would always end with the little chant. I don't know how y'all synchronize it with the "What's Your Own Podcast." All four of y'all saying it at the same time. So that was
again organic.
Dope.
This is organic. It wasn't even thought about. It started and then we just and it became a thing. Everything was organic about that show.
Yeah,
even all the way up to the way the people was loving it. Like it was wow. I'm getting calls and you know, we getting comments from New York, from Vegas, from all over, everywhere. It was wild. Like I was. That's why, you know, tragedy strikes, and people got to deal with it at they place. You know, Chef Keish, her son got murdered in the town, and it really that shook us up at the foundation, at the core, because all of us family. So, you know, Zay is her brother. Right. All of us are cousins. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, it kind of shook us at the core, and we had to take a step back. You know, but now it's been a couple of years, and we really like, yo, what's up? Well, I'm like, what's up? We met. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, it's just organic like that. It was just organic.
I appreciate that, man. Because yeah, like when I did hear the news and you told me, like it was just so sad and ironic because like a lot of the real news stories that y'all were talking about, it like obviously hit home to, you know, to Shisha just like that. So it was just
the night after it happened the night after we had did a recording.
Man,
we was recording. Later on that night, I got the call.
Man,
what? Yep.
Those calls, man. Knowing...
Excuse me.
Those are the worst calls to get late at night.
Yeah,
you know something up because that phone keep ringing, and you be like, I don't want to get it. I think something bad happened.
Yeah, you shook. Like, wait a minute. You calling me at this at 2:00 in the morning? What? You'll never get that call, so you gotta answer it. But you know, you know what it could be on the other end. And when I heard it, man, I was like, wow. Pull me down, because I had just seen him as well the day before. So I seen him the day before. Told him how good he looked too. Like, oh, look, cuz, you know, I see you with your little hair. You look good, dude. I see you. He smiled at me like, yeah, thanks, big cuz. We went recorded. Did that recording, that 34th episode that night, well, which is early in the morning that Monday. I got that call. And it was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, my heart goes out to Chef. Like, I hope that she's been able to, you know, figure out her way to that tough times. But like, if y'all are able to bring back the podcast, like y'all definitely brought so many positive vibes to everybody, you know, countrywide. So, you know, like if there's any like light at the end of the tunnel to try to bring it back, you know, that would be cool. But I know it's kind of hard to recover from something like that in general.
Yeah, man, Chicago, boy. But you gotta
Right.
keep it moving. Like Cuz she bouncing back real good. She's doing her thing.
That's good.
But Chicago, boy, Chicago make you tough. Make you tough, boy. You got no choice. So you
Yeah.
got you gotta take it, you know, as long as you get through it, you gotta shake it off and get to moving, man.
Wasn't there
Don't
one
have
episode? I'm trying to remember earlier on in the first half of the episodes. I thought y'all had a guest. Like, wasn't it like some
yeah,
some cowboy dude or something? I don't know if I'm remembering this wrong. Some like urban cowboy guy, and like it sounded like
yeah,
y'all had him on a phone or something. I was like, is this real? Like, what's going on? Was this
yeah,
planned?
dude was riding another cousin who know him, wanted to get his word out on the street about because she felt like he was being railroaded. He wasn't able to tell his story. So yeah, it was what the hell was his nickname? But he was a cowboy, man. He raised horses and all that. He would ride the horse on the expressway.
I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about.
He would ride the horse out on the expressway, and
Uh-huh.
he ended up catching the case because they said that he was abusing the horses, riding them out there like that, and they said that he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't taking care of them. So he went through a whole thing. So we gave him a platform to tell his story.
Yeah, I know you're
Which
talking about.
turned out to be a pretty good ass episode. Like, pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was our
Uh,
first and only guest because we was gonna trial and error it through him, and then we was gonna shift over to the other shit. So he was gonna be the trial and error. If it worked, we was gonna start going live, start doing everything. Then shortly after that is when what happened.
Right. No, but thanks for walking us through everything because I'm really happy if you bring it back. But I know you got so much stuff going on, in general, with your own business and with the rhymes, bro. Always coming with the rhymes, man. So like, so check this out, man. Like when we were collaborating on tracks, I remember like I think heading to the studio or leaving the studio, like as I always kind of looked at you as kind of like the GOAT when I was growing up. I would think like one of your like rap like influences would have necessarily been like somebody with some hard edge or street cred, you know what I'm saying? And it's like this is no shade on you, but like I was not expecting for you to like drop this person as one of your main influences to kind of even rap to begin with.
So
okay, all right.
So
Let's hear this one.
no, listen. Will Smith or the Fresh Prince was my first real introduction into writing rhymes, writing raps. He was like one of the first cassettes I ever owned. I don't know if you guys remember, but one of his first albums was Girls in the World Ain't Nothing But Trouble.
yes, sir.
Yep.
That was my first rap tape because it wasn't explicit, wasn't no cussing. So that was the only one that I could talk my granny into buying me. That there. Want to know what the second album was?
Parents just don't understand. Fat Boy. Oh wow.
So the Fat Boys and Will Smith really got me into
It's Marky
rapping.
D.
Yes, him, the whole. I don't even remember all their names either. But Prince, oh yellow ass, I'm always remember his yellow ass. And that motherfucking movie they had, what was it called?
Fresh Crew. No, Disorderlies.
No, that was Disorderly. I grew up on Disorderlies. I used to watch that all the doggone time. Had Luke from General Hospital in it. I used to love it.
Oh man, you gonna take it to Luke now, huh?
Yeah,
Luke and Laura.
Luke and Laura. That's how I know him. That's why when I saw him in there, I knew exactly who he was. Like, oh, that's Luke. Because my mama in General Hospital was the shit. I had to
that's
watch
a West Side thing, man. But that song used to come on at 2:00 and you at home. Before that, it was One Life to Live. Before that, then it went into General Hospital, and then 3:00 it was E. It was the entertainment show. Talk about the celebrity gossip. That's how it went.
Hold on, I got one more for you. See, I'm a little older than you. Yeah. Before E started coming on, it was The Edge of Night. So that was a whole nother one come up in there. He came later. My mama and grandma, he locked in. I used to be so goddamn mad.
Going deep in the bag on this one.
Hey man, I'm old. I remember a lot. But yeah, man, it was Will Smith though. It was Will Smith and the Fat Boys that turned me on to really sitting down and writing rhyme. But I was in love with Will Smith, bro. Like his rhyme style, how lighthearted and jokey he was, but how talented he was with doing it. Jazzy Jeff used to transform with the beats. Like, bro, it took me somewhere where I knew I wanted to be. And then I morphed. I ever since then, I say I was 11. And then from there, man, as you see the progression, then it became about the wordplay. Then it became about the delivery. Then it became about how slick can I get to really relate to and make this. That's when the Biggies came in and the Pops came in and really wanting to mean something about it. When you saying something, you got to mean what you're saying, or you got to have a meaning or a purpose behind what you're saying and how you trying to deliver it. And that's when it got real intricate to me, and I really just fell in love with it. That's where it went.
I just love that every time you send me a track, like you ride the beat well and you're always trying to figure out the storytelling aspect of it, but you also like try to figure out, you know, what genre is calling for this beat, right? So like I do appreciate, you know, the craft and the artistry whenever you're spitting rhymes. It's just it always kind of blows my mind that I literally remember listening to Southern playlisted Cadillac Music like the first time in your crib, and also like, you know, the Christian Conflicts and the Do or Dies. And you know, it's kind of like I had this sort of like mythos of like the street Chicago sound. And then when you just threw that out to me like not long ago about the Will Smith and, you know, Fat Boys and stuff, I'm like, wow, like, you know, one, you know, you never know, you know, what your influences are actually influenced by. And then two, yeah, you could always evolve your sound, you know, because like you're saying, like, we don't know how old you are. Like, yeah, you are older than us, but then it evolves and changes.
Man, I ain't saying, man, I'm 47. I ain't ashamed to be who I am. See, that's something else I learned from Will Smith, though. Like, you can't be afraid to be who you are here, because if you trying to be so hard to try not to be who you are, you ain't gonna have much to talk about, because it really ain't true. See, that's why I don't never run out of lyrics. I don't never run out of stuff to talk about. I don't never run out of none of that. I don't have writer's block, because everything that you hear is authentic. I'm not about the rah-rah and the shoot and the bang-bang, because I grew up in an era where you don't tell folk your business, because you never know who might be listening. But I'm out here I'm giving game in so many different other levels. I'm giving life game. I'm giving life lessons in what I'm saying. Because I tell you, like, and that's why I don't never run out of lyrics. Like, he tell you, I got so many songs, bro. He got so many of my songs, and it's so much more that I got to send him, because I never run out. You know, the knowledge is steady running. The game is steady growing. You know, all these cats out here trying to be something they're not, and that's why they're falling into the traps that they're falling into. Okay, I am who I am.
So how would you help Will Smith today? Do you think he's falling out of who he is right now? Or do you think he lost?
I think that's exactly what happened. I think that's exactly what happened. When I look at the situation with him, you know, when he was operating in a space where he wasn't trying to be like everybody else, when he was operating as, this is me, y'all gonna love me for me or you not. In that space, he was extremely successful. Transitioning into this space where he at right now, I think he lost himself after that entanglement shit. I think that entanglement shit caused that man to go into a spiral that he couldn't realize how he wanted to get out of. Because I think he still loved his wife and he didn't want to go through it, but that broad made him feel like he was betrayed. How do you deal with that as a man? And in that context, I think it was kind of hard for him to find himself. And I think in that moment, that's where the snap came. That moment that's right behind you right now. That's when the snap came. Because as a man, you say to yourself, damn, why you slap Chris? They've been talking about your bro messing around with dude for the longest. Why you ain't there winning there? I think he was trying to compose himself. I think he was trying to deal with himself. I don't think it was to the point where he said to himself, I think I can whoop him. I don't think that was it. I think he composed himself to that point And I think in that moment when he looked at his brother and she acted like she had a problem, I think that was the moment.
It triggered him.
I think that was a trigger moment. And you can't tell nobody what and when Nate was triggered. You know, but I thought Chris Rock's response to that in the stand-up was kind of on some soft shit. I thought that was kind of markish.
It was. He didn't deal with it right, man. You know, the thing is, you pick up the phone and call that man and talk it out like a man rather than take it to the stage. You know, you already got slapped once. So, and Chris felt real safe with all that security up there and everything. You know, he had said his stuff and he laughing about it. Like, he didn't say her name one time in the stand-up. He didn't say Jada's name one. He called her that bitch the whole stand-up. And I'm like, wow. And Andy did it in Baltimore. Where is she from? She's from Baltimore. Chris had no reason to go to Baltimore.
She didn't slap you. She wasn't the one to slap you. All she did, she just didn't grab the leash, nigga. She just didn't pull a dude back. She didn't grab though. You mad? Like, personally, your attack shouldn't have been on her. Okay, you're saying he's saying it started with her. Cool beans. But that night, when you got the open hand, she didn't do that. Buddy did that on his own. Now, she might have felt some type of way about what you said, and he reacted to it in that context. Okay, cool. You shell shocked. You didn't know how to deal with it. You understood. You in the Oscars. You didn't really want to make a scene, though you just got slapped. And I get it. The caveat in this, you finally speak about it all this many times later. You've had the opportunity to think about it, process what you want to say. And what you say is, he only did it because he felt like it was you and that he could whoop you. You as a man sit up there so many words, just like, he only slapped me because I'm weaker than him, because I can't whoop him, because he's so much bigger than me. Boy, ain't no way you should have went on TV and said that. Boy, you tripping. That was some old shit. Like, now, yo, bro, you don't do that. Now, that is not the manly way. He older than all of us. He should know better than to play them type of old ass. That was a mild way to go down. Yeah. That was a mild way to go up there and say, like, what? Wait, what? He only slapped you because he could bully you?
I'm small and I'm talking about, you seen Will Smith? I'm the size of Pookie from New Jack. And I'm looking like, okay, I don't take my shirt off and I have a heart attack. They work on me with my shirt on. This is Chris, had me cracking up, man. It was sad and funny at the same time, but you don't put yourself out there like that.
It was. And I was messing with the whole thing.
Until you went there.
And you made yourself look like a hoe, bro. And that's what bothered me. Like, I'd have rather him went on there like, yo, man, with how he ended it when he said, my mama taught me not to fight in front of white people. You could have said that going in. All that other, he bigger than me and he only slapped me because you should have totally left that out. And whoever, but you did it live with your dumb ass. You should have did it, recorded it, edited it, and let people tell you, because that was stupid. You shouldn't have done that. If you'd have led with my mama taught me not to fight in front of white people, I get it. I get the context of you being in the Oscars and you understanding, even though Will didn't, this ain't the place for brothers to have it. I get it. When you get on that, only reason he tried me is because, get your whole ass out of here. All right, man, you keep that.
I think it's kind of ironic that I'm just speculating here, but when he told like the dumbass joke when it first happened before he got slapped, like I think he didn't like rehearse it. So there might have been some handler at the Oscar show that said, hey, do you know that, she got, this condition, or, hey, do you actually want to say that joke? That might be like crude, or, hey, do you really want to talk about an old ass 90s movie, G.I. Jane, nobody cares about, right? So whatever. He did it off the cuff. He probably just saw them. He just said it. He freestyled the joke and maybe didn't prepare himself. But now, after it happened, he sort of like took the stance of he didn't want to talk about it. And I think there was like one statement about like, I'm not going to talk about it unless I get paid. So obviously Netflix is going to pay him, right?
Yeah.
So I guess like it's the whole business aspect of it. There's so many layers to it, but the whole business aspect of it, and being that the Netflix special dropped like right before the Oscars came back again for the next year.
The anniversary of getting hit.
Anniversary getting slapped. That's crazy. Yeah, that's some more passive aggressive shit. Like, he passive aggressive in the motherfucker the whole board. But whatever. In the context of it all, I don't know how I'd have dealt with it. Would I have been able to process it? I don't know. But I know one thing for sure and two things for certain, goddammit. When he went sat in that seat, popped his suit, and start screaming at me, I might have to dive off the stage on the men. Because not only have you came up here and slapped me, now I done ate the slap. I'm trying not to lose it right here. What you not gonna do is slap me, go sit down about 15 feet away from me, and then talk shit. I'd have took off. I think I'd have lost it right then. I think I'd have lost it.
I would have got jiggy with it right then and there, man. I would have jumped off that stage, tuxedo wings and went up, man.
Hell yeah, because I don't think I couldn't have processed that. I'd have took the slap, me like, damn, Will Smith slapped shit at me. And in my mind, I'd be like, don't fuck up this money. But don't, he took his ass out there and he got to talking that shit. Keep my name out your motherfucker. Boy, I went airborne. Oh, bitch, woo. I'm telling you.
And he smiled when he was saying it. That's what made me thought, what's going on here? He went to hell and came back.
I was like, yes. Like, yo, he walked up there so casual. Like, that whole scene looked like it could have been in the Mac.
Oh.
That whole scene could have been in Superfly. He walked up there, walked over there, dropped his ass, then turned around, holding his suit lapel, walked back to the seat, sit down and spun around and said, listen, you can't write nothing better than that.
And held her hand like it didn't happen. I said, what is really going on? Held her, and she didn't show no emotion. She just looked stone faced, like none. Gangster.
Hey, but her response was some bullshit though, like on some real player shit.
Oh, you cutting off a little bit, Rock. I don't know if I can hear you.
You didn't respond in no type of way in support of that man.
No, no. She didn't give him no type of response. She didn't acknowledge that he just went up there and slapped somebody for you. And she played it real cool. And then she brought him on the red. Then she tried to get him on the red table to talk about his feelings. That red table got to be banned. I don't want to see the red table get in my life. I don't want nobody to sit at the red table. Bad stuff happens at the red table to black men. Because that red table is scary. If she invites you on that show, let me tell you what I did. I think back to Entanglement. Did you watch that show live? I saw it live on Facebook. His soul went out his body and left the camera, and he was sitting there just a shell of a man. She Shane Sunned him on that show.
Wow.
She took his soul. Her and her mother, man, sat there and told her mama know she wrong. When the mama sitting up there laughing at you, they laughed about it. So I was like, that's cold, man. Then the kids made fun of him. You imagine your 19-year-old making fun of you about something your wife did to you? Imagine that. I gotta hurt him.
Can you imagine your child writing a letter to a dead man talking about how my mama still? Listen, bro. Now that was a trip. A kid that was born well after this man and died and wrote this dead man a letter talking about how much her mama loved her. Loved him. No, yo, bro. That blew me.
I'm taking all the pens out the house. All the pens, the paper, everything leaving the house.
Nobody respect that man in his house.
Mm-mm.
And that's why I'm like, yo, he lost himself, bro. He lost himself after that shit. He lost himself.
Man.
The confidence of Mike Lowry ain't there. Lowry ain't Mike Lowry no more.
Lowry died that at the red table.
At that red table.
Time of death. What was the episode? That episode, he ain't been right since then. Time of death, man. What they said, ready to die. You said, let me while I'm ready to die. You see Will Smith at the red table. So,
yeah, time of death right there. And then it's insane because he's one of the most talented brothers to come through, and he was such a good example to a lot of the youth. You don't have to be the murderers and the bang bang and the killer and talking about sex and talking about this. All you got to do is be yourself, man. Find out who you is, and he was a great example, a great alternative to the youth. And it's sad that is now his story. That's now his narrative. Out of everything he done, then it made the man come back and do a fucking emancipation movie. So not only do you Then this nigga from all you let him, he got to do an emancipation movie. So now he got to do a slave movie comes back.
He'll be in drag. He'll be in drag next.
Oh, then it's over with.
You know what's coming. You got a dress for you, Will. You gonna put this on, man. Red table style. Put this dress on, Will.
Hey man, them folks gonna make them, man. You know how they talk about in Hollywood, how they like to play with niggas' booty and mess around, make them off and come back in. You want to get back where you was,
Tickle
man.
pickle.
You know that's how they got to go. So
I mean, he made Terry Crews look like a superstar after that moment, man. You know, when Terry Crews went back up in status after Will laid the hand down, the Terry man was like, he touched me. Terry is too big to say that man touched him, and he said he held it in.
again, some a grown ass man should never say in public.
Man, there's no reason to talk about that. He has not been in a movie since. Have you seen Terry Crews since the touching?
No, just on the Americans. I ain't seen him since this American Got Talent. And the crazy part about it, my nigga, big ass you let a whole dude touch you like that and was cool for the rest of the night. And you walked out the party. You was never supposed to bring that back up.
Because he was happy about it. That's the reason why.
No, he wanted to be part of the Me Too movement. Get your Me Too ass out.
Yeah, me too. Me
Me
too.
Too
Him.
No. Certain things black men should not be a part of, and the Me Too movement, I don't think should be one.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you on that. I mean, it's messed up when you think about it. I mean, you know,
Hey, man.
a lot of L's.
Yeah, man, certain thing, man, go ahead. You took it. You was a grown ass man and you took it at that whole party because you worried about your career. So I ain't trying to hear about you later.
He was eating the cocktail shrimp and acting like it didn't happen. Eating all the cocktail, man.
Punk ass nigga probably only snitched because he didn't get the pod.
He touched me. Show me which one.
And
Show me where
give me the role.
Show me where he touched you, Terry. Show me where he touched me, Terry. Right here. Everybody hates Chris. I mean, everybody hates.
Hell yeah.
Oh man,
that's crazy.
So since you brought up that show, Novak, like it just sort of makes me think.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's like an unfair comparison about like where Will Smith has come and where Chris Rock has come, like in the TV show aspect of it all, and then the rap aspect of it all, right? Because like Rocco, you basically are sort of saying like Will Smith lost himself in that moment, and then it just made me think like at some point Chris Rock has become sort of more relevant to the hip hop culture in a lot of ways for music, right? It's like with Ye using them and with Busta Rhymes using them and like skits and like him sort of like having his own Chappelle show of sorts when he did the Chris Rock show. I guess where I'm going with this is like for some reason like Will left the music scene, right? And then he kind of like obviously evolved into movie star with Will, right? So I don't know if there's a piece of that where you think like him leaving the music was also part of him kind of losing himself, right? Because I mean, like there was no more like Men in Black dance videos, no more Wild West dance songs, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like obviously you have to grow as an artist, but do you feel like since he wasn't in tune with music
I think he didn't feel like it was I just feel like he didn't think he had a space in it. I feel like the whole culture was nowhere near that space, but I don't know nobody who wasn't getting jiggy with it. I don't know nobody who wasn't. These are the Men in Black. Everybody was rocking that, bro, and it was all to me. But I think you got to be into it. You got to be wanting to really get out there and get into it because it is, you know, it's a rat race. Like when you put a song out, you got to go promote it. You got to put the energy into going out. You got to perform it. You got to go put everything. That's why I ain't dropped mine yet because I don't got the energy to put forth that into that. Like it's a lot. And when you reach a plateau like him, think about it. Why Eddie Murphy ain't doing stand-up no more? Because of the effort and the work you got to put into it. He's not really there to do it anymore. And I think it's the same thing. I bet you money. Will got a vault full of music. I bet he got a vault full of music. He just ain't dropping it. Because what comes along with it?
You gotta work. I mean, it's like Eddie Murphy. He had Put Your Mouth on Me. Eddie Murphy had a whole R&B career. and he had Rick James pumping him up in the studio while he was supposed to be doing stand-up.
Yep. Yeah.
Man.
I'm glad you brought up the whole like you got to work because like the whole like stand-up thing like that kind of blows my mind, the hook, because there's so much like common like work ethic with like stand up and like hip hop, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got to put the work into it, right? So it's kind of like the Chris Rock move of dropping a Netflix special and trying to play this like I'm not going to talk about it for a year until I get paid. But you said passive aggressive earlier. I say like no work ethic, right? Because if you really do care about the stand-up craft, you're really just trying to like
let's look at Tambourine, which was his last special, and this. There's no comparison. Tambourine was cold. And then it was so cold it came out with a black album to the Tambourine. So it came out with an uncut version of the fucking original. And it was cold. That show that shit he just put in was just an emotional roller coaster. He went through some shit in there, and I'm like, yo, I don't even know if the nigga. Some of the stuff in it made me think like, wait a minute, niggas, you coming out the closet? I mean, what exactly is you saying in certain spots? Because certain spots I was like, wait a minute, did I hear that? I had to rewind a few times. Like, nigga, so what is you saying right there? Is you really, you know? And I don't want to put it out there and get none of us sued, so I ain't gonna do that. But that's what I felt like.
No, but you're right. Like I didn't get to complete the whole special, to be honest, but the Netflix special just kind of like reeked of anger, and it kind of reeked of like his own marriage, kind of like, you know, failing himself too. So I mean, it's kind of like he says a lot of stuff to kind of justify the things he does, but it's kind of far past the like the shocky like hard work of a comedy special, as opposed to like
I think
it was dark.
And that's why I felt like it was extremely dark. And I felt, and it felt extreme, because when I looked at how he was dressed, and my wife would tell you, it took me aback, because I was like, wait a minute, that's not how he normally, that looked weird. That looked weird. And then when he started talking, I'm like, oh, okay. Like the whole thing was off. Everything is usually calculated with Chris Rock. Everything, to the dress that he got on, to the outfit he got on. That shit, he came out there with a rag in his pocket like he was gangbanging, my dude. He had a chain on with the Prince symbol on, my dude. Like, I'm like, wait, what? What is you on right now, bro?
You talking about the last stand up? Yeah, the white towel came out the back of the jeans.
Yeah, like he had the towel hanging out the back.
He had on the Doc Martens. He had the Doc Martens with the skinny white pants, the holiday memorial pants, Labor Day pants he had on.
Yep, white button up, and the chain he had on with the white tee underneath, which he should have got an even size smaller because his neck still was too skinny to be in there. Then he had the chain on it with the Prince symbol on it. Did you see that?
You know what he's trying to say? He's trying to say he's a slave. He's on that stuff like he's doing these Netflix specials. They got his deal. He got one more. He's on that. I'm not free and not do the left. Dave Chappelle influence on Chris is bad, because Dave went through the same darkness. You know what Dave went through. Dave lost his mind, went to Africa, came back, lost some more of his mind, did 3 bad stand-ups, and then goes to SNL and just goes dark on SNL a couple of times.
But I liked it.
I like it.
The shit he did on SNL was cold.
Man.
But can't nobody really tell Dave, again, understanding yourself and your artistry takes you to another level. You can see the transition in the level. Like, personally, I like those 3 stand-ups he put out. I like the edginess he put out there. I like the intellect in which he does it. See, to me, that goes back to hip-hop. The intellect in which you express yourself on the cusp of what you're trying to get across, but at the same time, sometimes you'll get an uncomfortable smile. Sometimes you'll say something in the song that people be like, wait a minute, I don't know about that. But in the context of it, yeah, I said what I meant, though. You know what I'm saying? Now, how you perceive it, that's what I meant, though. I meant what I said, though. And in the context of Dave, the intellect in which he delivers it, the lines in which that he drops these things, and sometimes he drops them in pinpoint accuracy to make people, and he'll pause to see how people receive it. He'll drop it and be like, now how y'all gonna deal with that? You know what I'm saying? And I mess with that, bro. That's how he go. Like, he Jay-Z, man. Like the way he is with his stand-up. And Chris, was also good. I say Chris at a point to me was more like Jadakiss, and then he dropped this pussy ass shit. Chris was cold. Chris was on the next level. Like, when he dropped that shit. But then you think about like Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx, one of the most talented comedians, artists,
He just stand up.
He dropped his album and he can't do it no more. He ain't did no stand up no more. Me and my wife literally went to the concert he had here last, where he actually did a comedy stand up and performed his song. And he had Robin Thicke on the motherfucking card. Like, they was getting it in. But that was the last time though. Because of the effort and the work you got to put in for it, bro.
He ain't got it right now. It's like under 3,000, 3 stacks. You know, he lost in the airports right now, wandering the earth, can't write, can't rap. You know, I mean, you think about that. You think about like, look at Puff. Puff can't put nothing.
Another one that lost Puff gay ass. We're gonna get on that.
Okay,
that's goddamn 3 stacks, bro. I think I contribute all that to Erykah Badu. I think she got that snapper, Jack. Like, I'm scared of her.
we did a whole episode about that, man, about that mystical dust that come out of that, man. That dust, man.
Erykah Badu got some. Whoa.
Jay Electronica ain't been seen since. Where'd Jay Electronica go?
I'm trying to tell you. Did you hear that album he dropped with Jay-Z? Yeah, he's trying to get nigga. That he rapped like it had a price. Yeah, he was totally off. Yeah, Electronica ain't been right since. I'm telling you something about that Erykah Badu.
Jay carried him the whole album. Jay carried him on his own album.
The whole album. I only listened to that album for Jay verses. I fast forward through his shit. Because all that shit he was talking about, I was like, nah.
No.
Nah.
I mean, he tried, man. He got that other track, the other album, the one he dropped and it disappeared. What was that one? I can't think of the name of the album. Jay Electronica had an album that came out. It was cold. It was up for one day. Know Sage was up for one day on the internet and it disappeared. It's what is that album called? The Patents of Nobility. That's what the album's called. The Patents of Nobility. Act 2.
I never heard.
It's called Act 2, The Patents of Nobility. It's got the Illuminati symbol on the album cover.
Oh, really? I know Jay didn't like that.
Oh man. I heard it a record shop, you know, basically it's man, it's wild, man. When I first heard it, I was like, what is this? You know, it caught me off guard because, you know, you sit there and you go, what's up with this boy, man? And so you guys can probably see this right now. That is this is the symbol on the album cover.
Wow.
Yep. That's Jay Electronica's symbol. And that disappeared. Rockefeller made that, well, Rock Nation made that album disappeared overnight. There's vinyl to it that's out there that I've been trying to find.
It's that's deep. Now let me ask you a question. What happened? Oh, you swinging it over?
Yeah, that's what it was. You see that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what came out that situation. I mean, yeah, she got that. She has that dust, man. She made this man. He's a 5%er, you know, but now he's no percent. You know, you can't find him.
True story. Tell you, who else was messing with her? Wasn't Common messing with her at one point?
Oh man, he went out and said somebody touched him after that. He said I got touched as a kid. That's why I have issues with women.
You see what Jaguar White said he did.
Oh,
Jaguar really bust on him. She going around opening up. Boy, listen. Now she another boy. She out there busting. She is bitter and mad. Typical black woman.
She's doing everything in her power right now, man.
She's trying to tear folks up.
She said she got all the secrets.
Wait, so yeah.
Hey, you know what,
almost.
What you think? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I wasn't sure if I heard you right because I thought I heard you say Erykah Voodoo instead of Erykah Badu, but I was thinking like
that too. She got that too.
That's exactly who it is.
Voodoo, Erykah Voodoo. She got that voodoo. Don't she got an album called Voodoo?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something out there. I start following her, man. I don't look at Erykah Badu directly. I don't look at her directly. You know, I just turn my head. She walk in the room, I just turn my back. I be like, yes.
Hell yeah.
Don't shave her legs. Don't cut her toenails. And these dudes is going crazy, man. There's a picture of her toenails. They grown out like a werewolf, man. Some dude wrote in the comments talking about I cut them.
So this might be an unfair comparison, but was Jada on that same level? Because wasn't she messing around with Tupac back in the day? I mean, they were friends, obviously.
Jada?
I think he hit. You think he hit? I think he hit.
He hit everything.
Yeah, he did. Did you hit him? Like that nigga was cold. Pac was on some real player shit back in the day. Pac be sitting there with 2-3 different superstars in there. He knocking off at one time, all in there, waiting on their turn.
The only person that got the best of him was what's his name? Danny Boy got the best of him one time, and he talked about on his podcast about what he did. Basically, Danny Boy was knocking down older chicks. He was a young dude when he's out there on death row. He was like late 20s, early 20s at that point in time. He stole a couple of Tupac's pieces. Danny Boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now he gay.
Well, he did too much.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. And you from Chicago. Come on, bro.
He sell barbecue now.
Man, but he's selling more than that.
Yeah, I know. Flaming hot. But anyway, let's keep it
catching, bro. You're pitching the catch. Where you at with it?
Danny cool people, man. He cool. One of my guys is real cool with him. Danny, he do chicken, jerk chicken, barbecue sauce.
He's not. I'm just stating fact. You went from being that to now you claiming being gay. Like, you pitching and catching, bro. Which part?
But he was singing Toss It Up, though. He was singing Toss It Up with feeling in the background.
True story.
True story. That's a lot going on in that Toss It Up video. Go find that video and watch that video today. That's a mysterious video. Toss It Up. Tupac got hot oil in his body, the gold chain, and his fire in the back. What's going on in that video?
Yeah. Now you're gonna make me go back and watch it. Yeah, man. There was a lot going on, and yeah, Pac was. I don't know, man. Pac was a different type of animal, even back then. You could tell who was the alpha. There was no doubt.
All the 5'8", man. He was running the whole show.
Yeah, he was the alpha from the word go. You know what I'm talking about? So in the context now, back to your Puffy shit. Let's go back to Puffy.
You mean his name is Love? His name is Love now. It's not Puff. Right. It's Love.
Yeah, just Brother Love. Yeah, Brother Love. Now again,
okay,
that shit is weird, man. Like,
you gonna take your shot?
All of the stuff coming out that he is promiscuous sexually. Talking about how he indulges in men from time to time. That caught me off guard. Didn't see that coming. Then when you go back and watch videos,
you saw it.
You get to be like, oh, okay.
Take that.
Take that. Exactly. Take that. Yeah.
You won't stop. I mean,
I haven't heard one person come out and be like, nah, Puff wasn't on it. I ain't heard nobody come out and talk against it.
And 50 been flaming it up. 50 been putting barbecue sauce on it. 50 is, you know what? I'll put to you like this. That man, it may be the biggest bully in hip hop history. I mean, like 50 said he gonna take you shopping. I'm like, what does that mean, Fifth? Then he finally broke down what taking you shopping mean. I was just, man, my mouth opened up. I turned off that podcast. I walked away. I looked at that No Way Out album. I said, there is a way out. I looked at No Way Out and I said, there's a way out. I'm not listening to No Way Out. It's bothering me right now. But if you listen to his last album, right, he got a whole song about being true to yourself and finding a way and letting others love you for you. And it's a catchy beat, but it caught me off guard. It's like that's also the gay pride song now. He got that song plays during Pride Week now. And Puffy goes, there's no reason that song should be a pride song. I'm like, I heard the song. That song sounds like accept me, love me, and then put me out the house.
Right.
That's fine. Everybody needs, Lil Uzi got the anthem for the winter and the fall, man. Which, what the hell is that song, man? What's going on there? What's going on? I mean, everybody, what's up with that song? It never
I don't know
it
not
never
one
starts.
song. Just like I don't know not one Tekashi song, bro. I don't know none of those cat songs. Anybody with the rainbow hair wearing dresses and mascara, I don't know none of that shit. And that's not to say there's nothing wrong with it. Just not my cup of tea.
Hey, Lil Nas X is harder than Lil Uzi. Nas X, you know what? Music ain't bad. You know, you get past Montero, and you get into the other songs, and you don't know who it is on the radio. It snuck up on me one day. I was like, man, this dude right here got a little flow to him. Lil Nas X again, everybody. I was like, whoa. So you know, music, good music is good music. To be real with you, because even look at Frank Ocean. Look at Frank Ocean. Look at Frank and Tyler, right?
I agree. Frank Ocean makes some hits, and we know what he is, and he was man enough to come out way early.
Yeah, he dropped hits.
It's hard for me to adapt that into the hip hop culture. It's just hard. It's not what we came up with. Hip hop culture has forever been so extremely masculine.
Yes and no. Look at them old pictures from the 80s though. Look Africa Bambaataa and the crew, the Zulu Nation.
Yeah, we heard what Africa Bambaataa was on too. I ain't messing with that either.
And
we was playing with booty holes and kids too. I ain't messing with Africa Bambaataa, man. We see why he fits that stereo. That's what he was on.
You see some of these outfits them cats is wearing back there. Marley, you know, they're doing the same. It's wild right now. Some of these outfits that I didn't realize that my first vinyl was DJ Jackie Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Parents Just Don't Understand. It's my first record.
You in there with me?
I didn't want to admit it though. I let you go first. I didn't want to admit it.
Comfortable in my skin, baby. I'm comfortable.
Yeah, and then I remember the Brand New Funk was on that vinyl, man. Man, the Brand New Funk, man.
Yeah, it was the shit.
Yeah, I used to play that because
Charlie Mack, first out the limo.
Mm-hmm.
Time to chill.
Yeah, man.
What them classics. And ain't not damn person, hard as Philly is, ain't not damn person in Philly gonna call Will Smith soft for them album. Because all of them was bumping it. Because he was repping Philly and all that back then when they ain't had nobody.
Farmers Market. I remember Farmers Market with him. I mean, he was repping Philly, man. Even on Big Willie style. You know, to be honest with you.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I agree. Even on Big Willie style, he was, and he never ever stopped doing that. He always did so. And you ain't gonna never hear not Gilly, you ain't gonna hear you ain't gonna hear what's my man name was saying the Rock was in there was Benny Siegel. You ain't gonna hear Benny Siegel. You ain't gonna hear me. You don't hear none of them talk bad about Buddy. You don't never hear none of them say nothing bad about Will Smith. Ever.
But they took a backseat to Uzi though. That's the crazy thing. Uzi running Philly right now.
Yeah, now.
He does that neck snap.
Yeah, since Meek I think Meek still runs Philly. I think Meek running Philly. I think Uzi running the younger crowd of Philly. I think Meek still got. You think Meek still run Philly? What you think?
What Meek is hard, man. The thing about Meek is when you get over to screaming and he get that bass go out of his voice and he get the yelling at you on that track. I mean, Dreams and Nightmares is still to me Philly, and I hear that's up there where Parents Just Don't Understand. Because Dreams and Nightmares, he telling his story, and he talking about riding around, he tore up the Phantom and everything like that. That's Philly. But you know what? The inspiration from that's Will Smith's persona on the other side of the street. That's what it is. I mean, that's Will and Meek. Just to be honest with you, ain't no Meek and Will. But
yeah. And I agree with that. You can see the influence. But Will was a lyricist. He was flowing something good. It is harder to rap without adding cuss words than it is with it. Because you got to really be smart and sharp in order to transition the word. He's just throwing shit in here and a fucking here and an ass in here.
Yeah.
But trying to maneuver around that and trying to come up clean with it, hey man, that's hard. But now here's where the contradictory I went with Will. Okay, my dudes, you won't cuss in your music, but you cussing like a motherfucker on the Bad Boys. And I'm just
Right.
like, wait a minute, what are
Hollywood
we
made
doing?
him do. Hollywood made him do it.
Yeah, all right, hold on, man, because you didn't want to, because your granny didn't want you cussing in music. Well, you think your granny wants you cussing on Bad Boys?
Did she pass away?
I don't know.
You know what happens. You know, when ain't nobody here to judge you, Will's true self came out, man. You know, it's
Maybe
just
that's
what
what
it
Will
is.
need to do. Will need to drop an album. That's what he need to do. Will need to go ahead and drop one, Joe. He need to go ahead and come out.
Get Hit Boy to do the production. Get Hit Boy to do the
And,
production, stealing from Nas.
Hit Boy and Jazzy Jeff. You know Jazzy Jeff got to get him some. Let Jazzy Jeff go ahead and throw you some peace, bro. Go ahead and get your pressure off. Maybe that's what he need. He need to go and get his pressure off and go and get loose.
Or even call D Nice. I mean, D Nice right now is killing it right now.
Yeah. You ever notice? See what I mean by you can't be past your prime? Because everybody talk about how rap is a young man's game. But really the cats that's eating is older cats. The older cats is the one that's eating. The older cats is the one winning the awards. I ain't seen that young dude won an award at the Grammys. So older cats. So why they come on rap is a young man's game? Yeah, no, look at what's around you. It's really not.
I mean, it's a 35 and up game right now, if you think about it. I mean, everybody in that other pantheon right now, you think about Will's own kids ain't eating like that. You know, ain't nobody buying a Jaden album, you know, except for, he's got a couple of tracks, he ain't his pops, his pops is a different beast. You can tell that Jaden grew up in a very big house. Will grew up in a very small house and he had to get out that house. So he worked really hard to get something bigger. Jaden, no. Jaden's too busy talking about he's hanging out with this celebrity, that celebrity, and Tyler Creator. Tyler getting better.
Motherfuckers but him and Tyler supposed to be boyfriends, like
publicity.
That whole, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why you need that? Why you not sit here and have your sexuality in question just for publicity? Like I would rather be known about the different bras I'm knocking down instead of the dude. Like that's what the game about. Like I don't even understand that, bro. Like that was not.
They've been taught pretty much you're open to do whatever you want, a rock, a squirrel, anything. It's a different openness, to be honest with you. I mean, there's no borders. Like the Puffy song talking about love with no borders. I'm like, and I'm just listening to this like, it's a controversial subject. I think the thing is, hip hop has changed to the point now where there's a lot of rappers out there, they rapping about other dudes. It's just what they do. I mean, it's like, if you think about Young Ma is harder than Jaden Smith. Young Ma's flow is better than Jaden Smith's flow and a lot of dudes out there. She makes Lil Uzi look like a cartoon character. Young Ma is physical on vinyl, man.
Young Ma cold and she lyrical.
Yes.
See that? She
got that Brooklyn. She got that Brooklyn in.
Hard, ain't it? Hell yeah. She harder than some of the niggas that's playing in Brooklyn right now. She raw with it.
That Bobby Smurder looking scared over there, man. Young Ma and Bobby. I tell you, Young Ma.
I hang out with Ma because she gonna keep the bad ones around her. I'm sorry, baby.
You ain't get out with Smurder. You got 5 dudes. You ain't get out with her 6 chicks.
Right. Oh, what?
One over here.
Never again. Different MO from my growing up. My upbringing, we were never riding like that. That's what how we went.
Too much.
We weren't going to the house parties to hang out with some studs. Boy, please.
Yeah, but you know how it is today, man. They have a camaraderie, AAU basketball. It's a consolation world. If you come in second place, give them a hug and a trophy. That's how it works right now. It's a consolation world. I mean, hip hop like that too. You might not win a Grammy, but you got a sticker on your album to see you were Grammy nominated. That's what they're doing now.
That's exactly what the bar in the last song I let Cuz read. What is really winning when the winner? What is really winning when they rewarding all the losers? What is really winning when they rewarding all the losers? Like, what is the incentive to win now?
Well,
what is the incentive to be the best when they rewarding the losers too?
Well, why do you think Jay ain't dropped the album recently? He don't need to. Jay could do one song a year. He did that last track for that last track he rapped for about 6 minutes.
Yeah,
God did, and people lost their mind because he has not dropped the album. Was it 2018, 2017? It's been years. He on that Sade movement right now. He'll show up in 2026. Hov will show up in 2026. Marcy
And
Park
eat
20.
everybody alive though. He'll show up in 2026, eat everybody alive to remind them who he is, and then go on hiatus.
But he keep them young dudes around him. So what he does, he's like a vampire. He keep them young dudes around him. He listens to their style and their flow because he ain't in the streets no more. I mean, 50 said it best. 50 was like the reason why, when 50 was hanging out with all the young rappers, he was trying to come back. He was trying to get that energy from them.
True story. That's why it tripped me out. Why? But you hanging out with the wrong rappers. You hanging out with the rappers that can't rap. So you trying to get that energy, but them niggas can't rap. Fuck you hanging out with Chief Keef for? What the fuck is your old ass hanging around with Chief Keef? Like, really?
Well,
This my brother.
Sosa.
What?
So Sosa can't rap that good, but the production is him and Big Mensa.
I agree. Big Mensa can rap though, but he blew me when he put on the makeup and the heels and the fucking. Listen, man.
Hey,
I almost lost my damn mind, bro. And he sang the rock, but Sosa, the package of him was cold. It wasn't his lyrical story. It was the package of that man for that time. Changed music forever, but I think he kind of fucked it up too. But he changed music forever. Big Mensa was another animal. That boy can go. And his second album, he went totally ape shit nuts.
I know.
It's like he was fucking with Erykah Badu. He lost his fucking nuts.
No, man, he went O Block and then they ran him out of O Block. No, I'm joking.
in the heels and fishnets and makeup.
But so you go in that direction.
Because
Big lost it. But that's just like Von. Von had that. You know what? The thing is so funny. Now I was listening to this dude the other day. Now I didn't listen to him much. He was alive. King Von, that energy is ridiculous. And so you hear it, you're like, oh my God. I thought he killed 10 people on one track.
And he ain't bad. And he better than Dirt.
He better than the whole O Block.
Yes, the boy can go. And his energy is insane. Like, yeah, he that nigga on the block that you know you don't want to fuck with, because that energy and that nigga there, he gonna take you where you don't want to go. It's the same thing with his rap energy. He's gonna take you somewhere where you either gonna match it or it's gonna burn your ass alive, because he is full of it.
He had that specialness. He had it. I think Dolph started developing a little bit before he got shot. Dolph had a little bit on.
He was born here too.
I know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Man, Dolph, man, oh God, them videos, man, the video concepts that Memphis. This is Memphis now we talking about, but the video concepts are so cold. You watch the Dolph video and you're like, wow, did he just say this about somebody? And it's so Southern evil. You listen to it and you just like, he just dissed the whole record label. And he did it real cool. And he eating cookies while he doing it. And I'm just like, and I'm like, that's Dolph though. Dolph was a monster, man. Nip.
And he had a casualness too. He was a monster, but he was a casual nigga though. Like how does that nigga tell you what he gonna do to you in such a subtle way?
In my kitchen cooking up. That's like the way he said it, trap house. He just like, you're like, did he just describe a whole crack house? He did it real smooth. And it's so many different types of hip hop. You just like, Dolph just created a whole crack house, did a whole felony right here. Then he just created a whole homicide. He said, yeah, we shot that boy. Everybody's like, and then you got Von screaming, I killed him. And everybody like, they can't prove it. He just said it on 4 tracks. Told you how he did it. He had that one, Welcome to Old Block. He had that one track where he talked about this messing people up. And I'm sitting there listening to it like, man, you ever listen to a song, you feel like you might have to testify? I was just like, he did all that stuff. He did it all, Yonder.
Yeah, he did it all. Hey, when it's crazy you said that though. If you're gonna describe, if you're looking at Dolph and you're looking at Von, their energies now. Let's just catch what I'm saying. Their energy is so mirrored to Big and Pop. Dolph got that Biggie energy, that casual player, that slick shit, the slick talk. Even though he ain't as lyrical as Big, but he gives you that energy. And people love that dude. They flock, they lead, they follow that dude. And the same thing with Von. Von had that pop, that me against the world, that attitude, that energy, that live, that I'm Airwell. You know what I'm talking about? He had that pop in it. And it's crazy that they both ended up the same way as Big and Pop.
Yeah, because when you live like that and you say what you feel and you ain't got no filter, there's consequences. Because people don't like being talked about. People don't like me. We're in a 24/7 news cycle. When you make fun of somebody today, it plays with 24/7. You used to turn off your TV or put the CD away. That's on Spotify. You on SM Satellite. You got Gilly them talking about you. You got you got Joe Budden.
Talking about you. Mark ass nigga. He a Mark too. I don't like that Mark.
I mean, you got Nori starting shit every day. Oh my God.
Yeah. Nori got back. He got Brother Love behind it. Literally.
Man, Nori is probably, that's the one person you want to take Will Smith on Drink Champs. You might get Chris to show up. That'd be the ultimate showdown. You put Will Smith and Chris Rock on Drink Champs with no Jada.
Pull it off.
You have a boxing ring in the back. Come on, y'all. Come on back here. We'll put these gloves on.
Chris ain't gonna box. And you know what's crazy? Full circle this shit. It's crazy that Tony Rock was on the show that Will Smith was executive producer. You know how fucked up that was?
Mm-hmm. They boys.
They was boys. And then Tony Rock made it his business to go out there and like, yo, man, he slapped the right rock.
Yeah.
On stage at his uncle's man. He slapped the right rock. Because, man, ain't no way. Man, the man would have put his hands on me, man. We'd have towed the Oscars up. And he said, what's crazy is Chris got I got 8 other brothers. All of us want to do something to do. Like he was on there like, man, you slapped my brother. And you could see the anger in him. He on stage. He in front of a crowd. He doing a stand-up. He was mad.
That man was hurt.
Slap my brother. And you can just see it in him like, what? And Will Smith was cutting his teeth. That man was mad, boy. But I get it. I get it. Like, Joe, you don't remember this. Them cats was picking on them cats was picking on Joe at his school. They was picking on my little brother. When I showed up, Jason, it fucked them up. So they was like, wait a minute, this your brother? I thought you wasn't in no gang. Like, nah, this ain't no gang, nigga. That's my brother.
Yeah.
We'll beat y'all ass up here. It fucked them up because you fucking with my little brother.
Yep.
Boy, I got something to you about messing with my little brother. Boy, we went up there from the Tel Clemente up for messing with my little brother. And he wasn't messing with nobody. Y'all messing with him. I'm going to show you how this goes. Boy, we went up there 5 deep, just 5. And we finna Tel Clemente up. I'm going to show you how this goes. Finna show you. And the moms that was doing it, now we up there, he didn't want to fight Joe head up.
Right.
Coward ass. You know what I mean? You fight my brother head up, and while you your group and you thought my brother was alone, but the same energy, like, nah, y'all ain't finna be doing that with my brother. Now just imagine Tony Rock, they did that to his big brother. I was doing that, you fucking my little brother. That's his big brother. You know he looked up to Chris.
Yep.
Slapped his brother at the office. Boy, that nigga was hot. He was hot.
I mean, rightfully so in that situation. I mean, this board, this is what I say about the whole situation. You don't slap another man. I'm sorry. Right. What that should have happened is they should have took it off camera, talked it out, boxed it out in the hallway. Think about rappers back in the day. They fought backstage and they never came to the front stage.
Hell yeah, at least they was that smart. Like I know me. All that good till we go to commercial. I'd have been out of Chris Rock. Boy, we went to commercial. I'm like, hey, Will, come in, let me holler at you. Like, yeah, you're right. Come back here behind the curtain and holler at me, though. You got that off on camera, but come on over here. Yeah, you're right. 100%. Rappers gonna fight behind the curtain. They're gonna fight out there. They were smart enough to at least do that. Even when the Source Awards was popping off, They was doing a bunch of roo rah rah, but nobody touched nobody
On
in
the
front of the
stage.
camera.
Mm-hmm.
Everything happened behind.
As it
Yeah.
should. As it should. I mean, you know.
Of course, because that's what real players know. The camera is an eyewitness. It's recording that going in court.
Endorsements gone, record deals canceled. Why?
Hey, it's over with. And that's where I'll be like, yo, come on, man.
So yeah, I guess to bring it like full circle for some final Will thoughts, because like Rocco, you kind of made me think if he actually did drop an album right now, would anybody listen? But the other thing I'm thinking about is like the other thing I'm thinking about is like if you were to like come back to music, like did he step away from music, you think, in his mind because like he sort of felt like he's already like reached the prime, and then, or do you feel like it was more like he wasn't relevant anymore, he just stepped away from it?
I think that was it. I think he felt like he had passed his prime. I think he felt like nobody really wanted to hear anything from him anymore, which I disagree. Because the same people that was listening to you growing up when you was a kid, the same people that listen to you today.
Yeah.
And I disagree with that, because if he dropped the album, I'd get it and I'd listen to it front to back. And I know a lot of people would, just to hear what he got to say, to see how he'll go about it. If not, just to hear if he gonna talk about Chris Rock. Like, everybody gonna get it. Everybody gonna get it, because everybody who remember him knows, yeah, no, dude wasn't shabby with this shit. Let me see what he gonna do.
No, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing to me is like, you know, like the running joke right now is like, if you're gonna smack somebody, don't smack a comedian because they're gonna come back at you. But he has the ultimate platform, and you said he's lost himself, but if he somehow finds himself to go back into the studio, like he's got the ultimate platform to even respond, you know, to the Netflix special, basically.
Yeah, he got the ultimate platform because he's Will Smith. Even though, you know, we capped about, you know, they made him come back and do the emancipation movie, he's still Will Smith, man. He still carry cachet. You know, they still talking about the Bad Boys 4 that's coming out with him and Martin. You know, so yeah, man, it's still cachet. He still got cachet, bro. Motherfuckers still gonna love dude behind that. You know, motherfuckers just disappointed he did it. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody gonna stop fucking with him. You know what I'm talking about? Like, motherfuckers just disappointed. But if he came out with something, like, I didn't want to watch him in no damn slave movie. But if he came right out with Bad Boys 4, I'd have watched that shit. Like, you know, so yeah, man, it hurt. Like, I can't listen to R. Kelly to save my life, though. I just can't. Can't do that. That shit icky to me now, because I'm always thinking like, when he wrote this, was he thinking about a kid? Like, I'm kind of icky messing with dudes. You know, you find yourself getting into it. Last night, we was at this spot. I was going to call it out, but they don't deserve free promotion. We was at this place last night, man. It was live. It was doing their thing. And they was playing R. Kelly all through the joint, though. And I was just like, you know, when you find yourself getting, you be like, I'll wait for them. You be like, yeah, no.
No feeling on my booty, no.
No. You remind me of my G. No.
Ain't talking about no G.
What you say to a kid? No. You said that to a
Something
kid.
I can ride. I tell you, we used to play in college. We used to listen to R. Kelly sometimes, man. And I remember one of our buddies, Jay Ferg, would be like, that dude on something else. So he talking about, and I'm like, he right. He was on something else, no doubt, man. I mean,
he was right. He was definitely on something else.
I mean, the Double R album, man, that whole with the opera on there and all the other stuff, man. And yeah, you know, you're right about that. I guess to go full circle on this stuff. I mean, you know, Tony Rock had a reason to be upset because the way his big brother got treated. You know, Chris didn't handle the situation right either way. You know, either way, to be honest with you, Will lost his soul, slapped Chris because, you know, the pressure was on his house. He had to try to justify his existence to his family of, you know, of interesting people. I'm gonna say strangers and weirdos, you know, but they strange. You know what I mean? You know, when your daughter basically writes letters to ghosts and your son basically wears a fishnet shirt with his nipples out, and he's talking about Tyler. And then, and then your wife basically says, pretty much says what she did August on the show and described it to you. I mean, that's deep.
Right.
Nothing I can say about that, man. You can't bring me on the show and talk about sex with no other man and then look at me and say, I love you. And I'm just looking at the show like he's, I don't advocate violence against people, violence against women. This is a safe place show.
We're a safe place environment.
It's a safe place environment. No Sage to tell you. At that point,
yes, sir.
You should have gave the same man you gave the wheel over that to the number one and number two. The mom was sitting there like, whoo, and she's sitting there like, I did it. You know about my entanglement. I looked at her like, no.
What? Yeah. I think it was like, what? And he was like, entanglement. That's what we calling it now. And I was like,
he died at that table, man. Will Smith's son
right
was still floating around
there,
the table.
Right there. The fucking tombstone was written right.
At 4:00 on Tuesday afternoon, Will Smith was rushed to the hospital due to a comment from his wife.
Because can you imagine being in that situation in that moment? That's the part about Chris Rock's stand up. Yeah, her talking about sucking on another motherfucking dick and then putting the phone. What do you think about it, boy?
She put the mic in his face after that. Here you go. What do you think?
What do you think?
I mean, he rebooted. His eyes closed. He rebooted. This is what happened.
Did you see his face though? Did you see
he
how
died?
he was trying to compose? His eyes was bloodshot red. You could see his skin turning red. Like you could see that light skinned nigga was turning colors.
Yes, he cries at night. You understand? There's some people that cry at night and hope for a better day. It's just what it is. It's pain. I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
I don't understand what he thought was going to happen with him going on that show to talk about it. I don't get it.
He was waiting. He's waiting for an apology, a real apology, and he's waiting. He's still waiting.
Still waiting. And she don't care. Listen, man. That man, like we talked about earlier, that man slapped a man on national TV and put everything he got in his wrist, and your ass couldn't get out there and support him. And support to her.
She advocated for him to get mental health.
You put out there was insane. That man went up there and did that for you. I stand by my man. Ooh, he felt like he disrespected me. What was he supposed to do? Of course, stand by him. Get in that pan with his ass, and both of y'all cry. But don't stand up there and act like you finna preserve your ass, and he done put himself out there for you. See, typical bullshit, bro. Typical bullshit.
Well, you need a Bonnie and Clyde moment on that situation. This should have been a Bonnie and Clyde moment. That's what that should have been.
Bonnie and Clyde moment. I bet you Beyonce would have jumped in that frying pan with his ass. Fuck it, we going down together. That's how she goes.
I don't know about that, man.
Think about the video with 50 Cent when he said he approached JC and Beyonce jumped off the balcony on his ass.
Hey, that was before 411.
Oh well, yeah.
After that album, man, that album is like I cheated on you, and I meant it. I meant to cheat on you. That album is that I love 411, but that album basically is a hate letter about that's hating on yourself 101. That's what that is. That's pure hate. He told everything on that album. I listen to that album like, nobody wins, the family feuds. That's what he talking about. He talking about the fights with the Knowles family. That's what that is. And they got a truce. Then they made the Carters.
He told his story. I thought he went a little too, but that's what rap is. Like he went in depth and went into it. That was what she told him he had to do in order to get back right. So okay, cool, I get it. Niggas gonna face your fears. Go ahead and stand up and be a man. If you don't want to lose that woman, man, go on up there and tell him what you did, man. Go and put yourself on blast. But he's so cold, he know how to put himself on blast and still make shit sound cool. Motherfucker, I'm jealous.
I guess anyway.
All business on the street and still made it sound player.
Hey, you know what? It takes a lot to tell on yourself. and then make money about it.
No,
A
it
lot.
take Beyonce, nigga. It take Beyonce.
I can't do it. I couldn't
It
do
take
it. You know?
Beyonce. Boy, losing the baddest chick in the game. Yeah, you a Titan, and then you wouldn't tell it. If Beyonce was your chick, and she telling you if you don't do this, it's over. You ain't finna do it.
It depends on what I know that you don't know.
I will be
You
on that
understand?
motherfucker.
You gotta
I'll be on that
understand.
bitch thinking, you can't break my soul. You can't break my soul.
No, you'll be riding on the horse with no underwear on.
It gotta be me and Otto.
On the horse
I'll
right
be
there.
on that bitch.
He got a glitter
On the
shirt.
horse.
He rides around.
I'll be on that bitch with one of them white beaters stretched out of the motherfucking shit and collar down here.
The two tassels.
You can't
Take my soul. Oh no, man! Don't do it, Rocco. Don't do it, man. Go out the player away, Rocco. Go out the player away, Rocco. Take that L and walk away, man.
Hey, she almost had a Billy herself. You would let that Billy walk out the door and then hit you for some of yours, and you know she getting child support. You can't break my soul. We gonna fix this shit.
All right. We're gonna have to go to final thoughts now.
Okay. Okay, my soul.
No, but we don't want souls to be broken. We don't want souls to be lost. We don't want to lose our soul.
Can't drink out that Run With Us cup and talking about taking my soul, man. You gotta put that Run With Us cup down, man. I got
So
that
back then when Will did have a soul, and any other
that's the title of this pod. Don't take my soul. Don't take my soul.
You are a professional. The way you transitioned that was slick.
I'm writing it down right now about that. Don't take my soul. Episode 16.
But what I was getting at was and any other favorite like Will moments through his career, because like Rocco, you're making me think about the lyricism, like the two tracks that I'm thinking about coming to my mind is what was it, A Nightmare on My Street, when he had Freddy Krueger in the video.
Oh
then,
man,
he beat Mike Tyson.
it is a Nightmare on the Street.
He won a Grammy with Nightmare on My Street, bro.
It's real now. We know who Freddy Krueger is. He got alopecia. Freddy Krueger got alopecia right now.
Oh no. Oh, but wait. So the other track, I wish I could beat Mike Tyson. So he has a better chance beating Mike Tyson than alopecia, basically.
I heard Mike was offended by that song, wanted to really beat him. Mike don't like to be made fun of. He thought he was making fun of him.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mike didn't like. Mike is real his
sensitive.
Day, you are real sensitive. You heard about I'm sorry. You heard about how Jamie Foxx was up there doing his stand-up, and Mike was in the crowd. And dude told him, "Yeah, we heard about your Mike Tyson joke. Nigga, you go and tell the Mike Tyson joke.
He chose the fifth. He pleaded the fifth on that stage. I ain't nothing funny.
That shit was insane. But yeah, Mike has a history of that. Yeah, he ain't like motherfuckers talking shit about him, especially in comedians. He ain't like that shit.
He ain't the one, man. He is not the one.
Hey, he ain't the one today neither. Fuck the time, I ain't messing with that dude. That dude's an animal. I ain't messing with Mike at 60, 70, 80. If he ain't in the casket, I ain't fucking with dude.
I met him in college. We went out to Vegas, man. And I was like, this dude, he was talking to us, joking with us, and then he just turned. I was like, oh man, he'll kill everybody in here. He smiled. Yeah, he smiled. I heard that mirror sound from the horror movies. You know that sound, the shimmering sound. I thought that was crazy, man.
Dude be tweaking like that.
Clothes is very small.
He about that too.
Mm-hmm.
How he'll be jokey playing with you, and then all of a sudden
and swing on you.
And then you would never know the switch. Like, it was no switch. It was nothing said. It was nothing to he'll just tweak. And then the next thing you know, you feel like your life is in danger.
It is in danger.
Bro, he used to sleep with tigers. He used to sleep in the bed with them two bangled ass tigers. You got me fucked up.
Before they got
Ain't
too
no
big
way
and he
I'm
couldn't
going-
fight them anymore. He said he fell asleep, and the Bengals are
Yeah.
trying to eat his shorts. So he choked one of them out. I heard.
Listen, when they got a little bit bigger, the tigers used to fight each other over who gonna lay with him in the bed.
Because he was the alpha.
Fuck that.
Well,
At
dogs do
any-
it too.
I hear you. At any point, my fear is they wake up and realize I'm not the alpha in that situation.
Damn.
In that moment, when they wake up and decide, I don't want him to be the alpha anymore, there's nothing you can do about it.
No, take that L.
And I don't give a fuck how many people you knocked out in your lifetime. You ain't finna knock that tiger out.
You might get a good one
And
in
here's
on it.
another thing. If that other tiger, at some point, I don't think the other tiger is going to side with Mike. I think the other tiger is going to side with the tiger.
Gang. You know what happened? Mike is on his back. Gang.
Hell yeah. Because I don't see that happening. Like, that's insane to me.
So you said a Pat Beverly, a tiger is gonna come out.
For sure.
All right, No Sage. Let's do our final thoughts, man. We could do this all night.
I'm glad, man. I sure was sitting out there. I hope I ain't fucked up the
Yeah. Let's definitely do the final thoughts. Rocco, I really appreciate you being on the show, man. I obviously brought you up for one topic, but you got multiple topics coming out. And if we don't end the show, it's gonna turn into mad more topics. So it's all love, though.
I apologize. I don't want to. I should have shut up more.
Nah, you good, Rocco.
When I get to going, man, man. We can go anywhere. We can go around the world. It's all linked together. I'm sorry.
You good, Rocco, man. You got me thinking about tigers and little Uzi, man, and all. I got all types of weirdness going on in my mind. West Philly. I'm trying to understand it all right now. Mike Tyson, a tiger, and Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Yeah, we went around the block. You was bringing up young M.A. and all.
I need something masculine. I need some masculine energy. That's why I went there, man, to balance all the estrogen going on in the room, man. But I needed some testosterone. That's why I went Young Ma to bring us back.
Got it too. Young M.A. and Kevin Gates, most testosterone.
Not Kevin Gates. Oh no, not Charmin Kevin Gates. Was he Native American?
With the Indian.
Tonto.
I'm like, yo, he blowing me though. I don't understand what happened.
And that perm. He has a perm with a feather in his head. But anyway,
for his truth, I guess. Him and Kyrie, they Indians now, I guess.
Man, Kyrie, everything. The earth is flat. But anyway, Rocco, we happy you came on the show. The earth ain't flat. It's round. We know it's round.
I appreciate y'all for having me, man. Remember, anybody need any cleaning service, Clean Supreme Invasion, give me a call. Cuz you can put the stuff in the link. I appreciate y'all for having me in, man. Thank you so much. I had a blast. I didn't even think it was going. We did some talking, like we kicking, like we for real kicking. I appreciate y'all.
Same here, bro.
Yeah, we appreciate you too, Rocco. And even as much as we were chopping it up, it's still only is a minuscule of what y'all do on what y'all on podcast. Y'all just go off on there. So please bring that show back if at all possible.
Bring it back, man. We'll stop by.
Man, appreciate it. For sure. Deal. We get this cracking. Yes.
I'm coming back with the red boots on, man. I'm wearing the red boots. I'm wearing the Astro-Boy boots. I'm showing up with the red boots on, man.
Oh, wait, then it's going down.
Yeah, you
Red
get the
boots
Mario
right
Brothers
here.
shoes, man. You get the Mario Brothers shoes. I got the red boots, man. We gonna show
I can
up.
do it. I can do it.
It is. Come on in. We're gonna do. Hey, but you know how we do it. We do it live. We don't do it Zoom. So you got
We
to
do
come
it.
out to Chicago Heights, and we're gonna do it in Stu.
I heard
I'd like to
that.
be there.
Let us know, man. We'll come through.
That's what's happening. I appreciate y'all, brother.
For sure.
Send me the link.
I got
Yes,
you. I
sir.
got you.
Send me
Yes,
the link. I'm finna flood the gates with this joint.
Yes,
Know
sir.
Sage, you got anything else you want to say before we close out?
No, that's about it. I mean, check us out on all the platforms, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Audible. It's been a pleasure. And
OnlyFans.
Foot fetish. Yeah, for all you foot fetish, we talk about it.
Not yet. Hopefully.
Yeah, we got Rocco on that horse. Don't take my
Hey,
soul.
you laughing. Me and my wife was talking about putting her feet on camera. We were. Hey, I get some of that OnlyFans bread.
Is there an OnlyFans channel for Erica Badu's feet? All right, forget it. All right, we got to stop right there.
It probably is, man.
Erica got that voodoo boo boo. I don't want no pod. I'm trying to tell you.
Uchi what? She got the mentioned by Golly
like,
Wow.
No. I'm like, no, man, I ain't looking at that bitch in the eye. Bitch had me around here passing out everything, walking around naked.
You like incense and rapping backwards.
Rapping back. Hell no, I ain't messing with her like that.